Have you ever stopped to think about how loud the world is? There is so much sound coming from machinery, electronics, the hustle and bustle of the masses, the sounds of wildlife and pets, and every single thing you say. Sometimes you just need some peace, and that's where practicing silence comes in. Keep watching to learn more about what this practice involves, how it can change your life, and how you can take on the challenge. And don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to join us on the bright side of life. How many words do you speak per day? You might be surprised to learn that women speak about 16,215 words per day, while men speak about 15,669 words. And that's according to Dr. Matthias Mell in a study published in 2007. Of course, these numbers vary greatly depending on your job, how many people you live with, and how many people you interact with every day. Can you envision the enormous amount of information going through our brains at any given moment? Living with this level of information in the middle of chores, work, family, a social life, and life goals can be like driving down the highway so quickly that you go off the road and forget where you're going. So sometimes you need to hit the brakes and come to a hard stop to get your bearings. You might take a vow of silence following Eastern traditions. Or maybe a friend did it and recommended it to you. Perhaps you're seeking more mindfulness and awareness in your life. Whatever the reason, practicing silence for a month can be a frightening experience at first. If someone challenged you right now to stop talking for a month, the idea might send panic waves through your body. People think that being bound to silence for a while means losing something. Maybe losing the ability to communicate and losing freedom. They think it's like being imprisoned. In reality, being silent for a few days, or a month, or even longer, can give you a feeling of liberation you might have never experienced before. It can also lead to a stronger connection to yourself and offer you a genuine sense of peace. If you had the time and the silence to process the ruckus of life, you would be able to find your real self underneath, waiting to be discovered. This is how silence can transform your life in a month. It'll take the pressure off. When someone asks you a question, do you feel compelled to give an immediate answer? There's this strange pressure that tells people they must always have an answer. The pressure to respond immediately may make you say something you don't fully mean or respond before you fully understand what's at stake. If you don't have to give immediate answers, you won't be constantly on the spot, so you can expect your anxiety levels to diminish. Being silent will allow you to have time to think about what the real response is, allowing you to come up with an answer that is genuine to you. Having this opportunity is important, especially if the question was pointed or difficult and would have caused a stressful response. Remaining silent is one way to be proactive, not reactive, to stressful situations. It'll help you make happier decisions in the long run. Do you ever feel lost? Maybe you don't know where you're going, what project you'll tackle next, or how you can solve a problem. Maybe you're facing an important life change. It might be time for you to choose a career, you might be considering moving to a different country or state, or maybe you're considering moving in with a partner or leaving home. People have a lot of different ways to find the answers to life's most important questions. Some will speak to friends or family, some will look online, and others might turn to guidance columns. So how can you ensure your final decision is true to yourself? By practicing silence, you can ensure that in addition to hearing everyone's opinion about your dilemma, you hear your own opinion. One that you might be afraid to share or that was hiding underneath your own talking or all the other voices. It'll make you think before you speak. Do you ever say things you don't mean? Maybe you accidentally told someone a secret you'd promised to keep for a friend. You might have said a mean thing to your partner while fighting, or spilled your whole life story to someone who wasn't interested. It happens to everyone. People are so used to talking that they do it when it's inappropriate, and sometimes they don't know how to stop. Sometimes talking is a way of giving voice to anxious and stressful thoughts, but endless talking can prevent you from finding a solution. Keeping mum isn't only simpler, it can also stop you from putting your foot in your mouth. Moreover, being able to talk in simple, concise, and honest terms can be a sign of greater wisdom. It'll make you comfortable with silence. Do you feel like you always need to fill up silence with words? Or maybe you know a person who can't be silent for a single moment? When you see them coming, you know you'll lose your peace of mind. A lot of people are uncomfortable with silence, finding it almost physically painful, particularly during social interactions. When you practice this, you'll learn how to be in a room filled with people and know that nothing bad will come from being silent. You will also see how silence is sometimes the thing a person needs to dig deeper into themselves and share more vulnerable information with you. It'll make you a better listener. If a friend is telling you all about their problems at work, it's natural to want to pitch in and offer solutions for the problem. But sometimes all people need is a friendly person who will listen to them. Once someone has listened to their issue, the negative power of the problem can be reduced enough that they alone are able to find the solution. It is substantially more powerful when a person comes to their own conclusions. When you abstain from filling up space with sound, they are more able to own up to their own space. By paying attention through eye contact, you can also catch body language clues and information that might not be shared verbally. This will give you a lot of insight into people's hearts, and you could learn that maybe you're in the habit of interrupting people when they speak. It'll awaken your inner voice. Everyone has that voice that makes you, you. When was the last time you heard it? As you grow older and are faced with more challenges and responsibilities, it can become harder and harder to listen to that inner voice. Whole days, weeks, and months can go by when people are in auto mode, going through the routine and forgetting to tune in. Being silent means you have the opportunity to listen to that voice. Hear what it wants, how it feels, if it's happy or sad, and if it needs to try something new to get more satisfaction from life. Listening to that inner voice will be like plunging your head into a bucket of cold water. It might be the thing you need to get you out of a funk. If this sounds like the exact thing you need right now, go ahead and try it. To go full out, you can also reduce the level of noise in your environment by turning off electronics and engaging with a book, going for a walk, reconnecting with nature, or doing yoga or stretching at home. Your vocal cords will be perfectly alright afterward. You'll still be able to holler, sing in the shower, and talk your friend's ear off. The only difference is that you'll feel much more in tune with yourself and more at peace. If you aren't ready for such a big jump, you can always do a digital vow of silence from social media instead and abstain from using it for a few days to keep your world a little more peaceful. So, tell us, Brightsiders, will you give silence a try? Let us know in the comments section. Don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and click subscribe.